don't you talk about Black on Asian crime? Okay, let's do it. Never mind that it's kind of weird and opportunistic of you to suddenly mention it when we are dealing with the shooting death of Cyrus Carmack Belton, a 14-year-old boy, a black child, by an Asian man named Rick Chow. 70 to up to 90% of hate crimes against Asian Americans are perpetrated by white people. In March 2021, a lone white gunman walked into Asian massage parlors and shot dead 8 people, including 6 Asian women, East Asian. They look like me. Some of y'all specifically want me to talk about Cordell Gooseby, who shot dead a pregnant Asian woman, Ina Kwan, while she was stopped at a street corner with her husband. There's no excuse for this either. I believe the man has been committed to a mental institution, and he could remain there for the rest of his life. Rest in peace to Miss Kwan and her baby. We lost multiple lives and I condemn it. But this trial happened this past March. The shooting happened in 2023. Why are you bringing it up now? Why are you bringing it up now when we are mourning the death of a black child and the lack of justice done? Both things can be wrong. But why are you only bringing it up in my comment section when I want to talk about anti-blackness in the Asian community and the death of a black child? Mr. Gooseby remains in the custody of the state. Professionals evaluated him, determined him to be criminally insane, their words not mine, and he is in a mental facility. Rick Chow is walking free. There's a pretty big difference in those outcomes. I'm also not sure why Mr. Gooseby decided to target Miss Kwan. If a white or black or Latina woman had been at that street corner, he might have targeted her. It's hard to say that this was cut and dry a racially motivated case, just like the Cyrus Carmack Belton case. I condemn every racially motivated murder, whether it is of a black person, an Asian person, a Hispanic person, a Native person, a white person. But y'all are using Stop Asian Hate on these posts about Cyrus as almost an all lives matter dog whistle. And yes, I hear you calling me a pick-me for the black community. First of all, what would black approval do for me? What will it do for me? If I really wanted power, I would go for white approval, wouldn't I? Just like you? If I really wanted money, shouldn't I go to the white community and like sell parts of my culture to them and let them fetishize me? Most of my friends are Asian. My boyfriend is Asian. I wear cheap hose on the street on the regular. 我也说中文. Only Asians I don't fuck with are the ones who are like you, who are pick-me-co and anti-black. Cause y'all are not safe for my black friends. Y'all are not safe for me. Cause y'all will throw any Asian under the bus for white approval. And yes, I know it sounds really pick-me that I have an Asian boyfriend. But y'all will stay mad because I did not pick you. Make your own post about Black on Asian crime if it's that important to you and back it up with statistics. Stop trying to derail the very important conversation that our communities are trying to have. Why don't
Just imagine Cyrus was Asian and how upset as an Asian person you would be if one of your children, one of your people's children got shot for not even stealing, by the way. They were so scared that they ran after him. Is that not crazy to you? And I said in my last video that all Asians were racist, and I believe all people are racist. We are not masters of other races. We have stereotypes built into us that we were raised with, that we live with subconsciously. So you have to constantly learn. To be racist is to be ignorant. And we are all ignorant. So when somebody tells me, oh, I'm not racist at all, that's just weird. I just don't see that making any sense. Somebody else said, oh, you know, Korean people were slaves. Yes. And it's not to compare. Okay. She was like saying Korean people were slaves. You should know what we went through as Asian people. I do because I'm half Korean and I was born in Japan. So I dealt with a lot of racism. And Korean people were enslaved for like 35 plus years. Black people were enslaved, and not to compare because it shouldn't be compared, but for centuries, black people were slaves. Black people were property. America is built on black people's backs, indigenous people too, yes, and immigrant people. But before we got here as immigrant Asian people, black people were here. I live next to Koreatown, Korea.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Agent Stories. There's something that I want to talk about, something that I think it's really important. You know, Asians are just learning that some few Asians who are talking carelessly are going to make them lose their jobs. And it's true. This is happening because after all that rally against boycott, to boycott like Asian businesses, it started working as black businesses have really improved. We have people that have come out to thank the black community for choosing black, at least for the first time. So this is what is happening. Asian women, and of course, the entire Asian population. They are coming out for these Asians that are saying that, black people should boycott them. But they're not owning any business. They're not doing anything. So it means that they're destroying for their other Asians. So this is what it means. On the surface, it might look like all Asians like that these happen and it doesn't affect them and it's like it's normal. But the truth is that on the ground, you get to realize that they are being affected. And now Asian American women, they are out there warning Asian men, especially if they know you or probably you living under the same roof, they are going out there warning them that if you try say this or if you try do this, we are going to divorce you. And if you're a friend of ours, if I know you, I'm cutting you off. So that's how they are moving with this group of people. So I really don't know what you all think about this, but it is really, really interesting that we get to talk about these issues. We get to talk about this concept because it is important to get to see the reality of the matter. And I always tell you that you might take yourself for granted as a black person, but know very well that you are so much important. You are so valuable because there's something that you gave them that they are not ready to lose. Right? They're not ready to lose. They can't, they can't, they just can't want to lose it. They don't want to lose it. And they won't lose it to anybody. And that's why it becomes so much difficult for them to just see few Asians coming out and starting to ruin their businesses. Asians who don't even have businesses talking for Asians who have businesses. And so it's like there is this back and forth that's still going on. But it is really interesting to watch the video. And I'm just asking, for those who are watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to what I can offer you. For those who are always coming back watching my videos, man, I'm really, really grateful for all the support that you gave me. Until then, I want us to watch this video, and then I'm going to be back. I'll be giving my 2 cents in regards to this. So let's watch the video.
Koreatown is one of my favorite cities, by the way. Do you know how Koreatown was built? Koreatown, Los Angeles? Because Korean people, my people, were given loans to open up businesses in black neighborhoods. So Korean people opened up stores all across Wilshire Boulevard. We were given that privilege that black people weren't. Redlining was a thing. Redlining affects us till this day, especially black people. And white people did this not only to make us turn against each other, but also to make sure we don't succeed. When we think of what white people think about us, what do we think? Oh, they think we're smart. They think we're quiet. They think we put our head down. They think we don't say anything. But what do white people think of black people? Do you see the difference in privilege? After what happened with Rick Chow and Cyrus, black people don't feel safe around us. Can we fucking blame them?
All I'm saying is that if you are Asian, before you should even be asking the question about who gets to decide who gets to boycott Asian-owned businesses, we need to be having the conversations in our own spaces about whether or not anti-black racism needs to be addressed and have those uncomfortable conversations within our communities. Because I have been doing this for years, right? Have you been doing that before you decided to come online and post a video being like, oh, black Americans are such hypocrites, which they are not. They have a right. Like, they have an absolute right, because we do have rampant anti-black racism. And before we are willing, like, we need to be willing to take accountability for that before we get to decide whether or not anybody should be boycott. Also, it's not even our decision who gets to boycott. Our role, right? And everybody has different roles under systemic oppression, and something happens, is what can I do in solidarity instead of looking at this situation as an us versus them problem? If you're still looking at it from the lens of an us versus them problem, then you are on Rick Chow's side. And I know that people can say like, oh, well, you know what, like I have such a diverse spectrum of ideas and I see things differently. But when it comes to systemic oppression in a world that is made to be black and white, then if you are going to look at this boycotting situation as, oh, you shouldn't boycott us, why should we have to pay for the sins of this one guy Like, that's not like the systemic playbook, right? Like when one person does harm, or even if it's a few people doing harm, right? If you think about like slavery in the South, even if it was just a few people, a few families running the whole thing, okay? The systemic issue is still the fact that everybody inherited these core belief systems about certain marginalized groups of people, and we are still perpetuating these ideas, right? Like, the issue is that our ideologies are still there, right? And until we're able to address that, why are we even thinking immediately like, oh, actually, I'm going to argue about boycotting, when you should be looking at yourself in a mirror and being like, hey, I realize that I'm contributing, my community is contributing. How have I seen anti-Black racism manifest in Asian spaces? Like, why are these conversations so difficult to have? I don't know. But they need to be had, right? They exist. They exist. People are doing it, some people are not. But when it comes to the question of solidarity, are you for or against? And if you are for, then have the conversations first before you decide who gets to boycott.
I have seen more Asian Americans being upset at the fact that Black Americans are threatening to boycott Asian businesses than I have seen Asian Americans speaking out against the murder of Cyrus Carmack Belton, a child who was murdered at the hands of an Asian man. And this has everything to do with race, especially when anti-Blackness is so deeply rooted in our community. I have said this a million times, and I'll say it as many times as I need to so you can get it through your thick skulls. The only reason why Asians exist in America in such a large population is because Black activists fought for our right to be here during the Civil Rights Movement. White people did not want us here. It's not enough for Asian people to just be not racist. You have to be anti-racist, and you have to be speaking out against these injustices, or else they'll continue to happen. We absolutely owe the Black community solidarity, and the sooner that we realize that we're not much different from each other is the sooner that real change starts to happen.
So Asian people are white adjacent. In a world where the model minority myth exists, in a world where colonization, white supremacy, and racism has taught people that the lightness of your skin makes you be seen as better. Yes. In a world where a store owner can kill a little Black boy, Cyrus Belton, because he thought he stole a $1 water bottle, and he gets off scot-free because due in part to the racism of our justice system and legal system? Yes. I'll stop calling white-skinned people of color white adjacent as soon as they acknowledge their complicity within these systems of oppression. I'll stop calling Asian folks white adjacent as soon as they stop being anti-Black. I'll stop calling Asian folks white adjacent as soon as they hold each other accountable for the anti-Blackness that they bring into Black communities, even though it was Black folks fighting tooth and nail for everyone. The reason that they have the rights that they do in this country today is because of Black people dying. So I'll call them white adjacent until that happens. Don't know when it's gonna.
Asian men are cucks. They're fucking cucks. Not all of them. Not all of them. I should clarify that. But Asian men are cucks. And those of you who are not cucks, you fucking get it. You fucking get it. But those of you who are cucks, you don't fucking get it. Okay? Because you're fucking cucks. And by cucks, I mean you're fucking cucks for the white men. You're cucks for white supremacy. You're motherfucking cucks.
Know they're in the wrong, and I think it's so funny when people know they're in the wrong, and they always gotta resort to, I'm gonna cancel your business. I just wanna say, you're not the first one to try that, and you probably won't be the last. But if that's what you gotta resort to, you know that what I said hit a nerve. It wouldn't bother you if it weren't true. So what does that tell us? And for all business owners out there, all PR is good PR. Keep that in mind. With that being said, Love and Paradise concert, September 12th. If you haven't got your tickets yet, grab them now. We are meta.com.
That cuck is upset that Black people want to boycott Asian businesses. That cuck refuses to acknowledge that there's anti-Blackness in the Asian community. And that is why he is a cuck for white supremacy. Now this next cuck, he was cucking it up.
We gotta talk about the Asian picking problem. There's nothing wrong with standing up for other races of people, other groups of people, especially if the situation calls for it. That's what the truth is. But why do a lot of you Asian creators and influencers not keep that same energy when it's Asian people being affected, killed, or especially at the hands of other races? You'll make a whole bunch of videos crying in front of the camera, but when it's Asian people being affected For some reason.
Now, the reason why that cuck is a cuck for white supremacy is because he chose to only show incidences where Asian people were harmed by black people. He refused to show the other part, which is the majority of the people harming Asian people are actually white people. He chose to only highlight the harm that Asian people faced from black people. He didn't choose to highlight the white people who are harming us. He's a fucking cuck for white supremacy. He's a fucking cuck.
If you're going to group all of the Asians together, we cannot have a productive conversation because you're just as racist as Rick Chow. If you can't even take the time to understand that there is a lot of racial tension between Southeast Asians and East Asians, then we can never have a productive conversation. If you're just going to try and cancel everyone out, boycott everybody, then
Cucks all around, I guess. Cuck, cuck, cuck. Asian cucks. Asian cucks for white supremacy. That's what he is. He's an Asian cuck for white supremacy. And the reason for that is because he doesn't understand. He refuses to understand why black people want to boycott Asian businesses, and it's out of protection for their children and themselves.
I love when the black community said, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all you call it.
Not only is that Asian man a cuck for white supremacy and the white man, he fucking sounds like Elmer Fudd. He looks like him too. Like, it sounds like he's gonna go hunting for some rabbits, you know? But he's a cuck. He's a cuck who looks and sounds like Elmer Fudd. A cuck for white supremacy.
That song, right? Putting on a t-shirt? Yeah, they just put this motherfucker on a t-shirt. These two parents found Cyrus. Cyrus Carmack Belton. This is the guy, 3 names, right? So his first name and 2 last names. Well, you got two dads? Is that what it is? You got 2 dads? Loves playing with guns, right? Loves guns. Yeah, should be playing guns. You know, the prosecution liked to talk about the water bottle, but they didn't like talking about the guns. This kid's 14, running around with a gun. His parents didn't give a shit about it during the trial.
A cuck that says the fucking N-word. A cuck that says the fucking N-word. That's what I'm dealing with in my community. So, when y'all get on this app and side of Asian men about Oxford study, and I'm not an Oxford study, but when y'all get on this app and side with Asian men about Oxford study, just remember that most of them are actually cucks for white supremacy at the end of the fucking day.
White supremacy. Damn, who taught their 14-year-old little sister a new word? New vocabulary, huh? Cuck? Yeah, you know what that means? Alright, little sis, I didn't even make it a point in my video to address black people at all. That was something that you literally just projected onto my video. I just picked the first 3 incidences I could get. There are obviously white...
I'm not 14. I'm not. I just have good genes. The topic in the video in which I had you in my other video that you stitched, who literally chose a time when there are Asian people and black people having discussions on this app in regards to a black child who was murdered by a grown-ass Asian man. And black people are currently grieving. They have a right to grieve. I don't think we have a place to judge how other people grieve, but that's a whole ass other thing. What I'm trying to make here, though, is that you chose to make that video during a time when black people are grieving, during a time when Asian people are being insensitive to black people grieving. You went out of your way to show screenshots of incidences where Asian people were harmed, and you only chose the ones with black people in it, knowing that there are in fact white people who harm Asian people too. But you specifically chose only the black people. Why is that?
And I just want to reiterate one last time. I don't think there's anything wrong with standing up for other races and groups of people. You should, especially when you know the situation and the truth call for it. But keep that same energy when it's standing up for your own people. Don't be scared just because you have to go against the grain to stand up for Asians, okay? We gotta stick together, okay?
And you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right on that. But the part where you fucked up is you choosing this time to do this. You're choosing this moment in time to do it, where black people are currently grieving a child from their community who was murdered by one of us. And I'm gonna say this right now. My child is a part of their community, so I'm gonna be on their side on this. And it's not just because my child is a part of their community, but it's also because I have chosen family who are black. I'm not gonna sit here while they're grieving and say, well, this black guy murdered this Asian lady a couple of years back, or, well, this and this happened. There's a time and place for it. There is a time and place for it. And if y'all want to be able to have these conversations with black people, you got to meet them where they are at. And right now, where they are at is they are grieving a child in their community who was murdered by someone in our community. And we got to meet them with empathy. We got to meet them with empathy. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen so many black people talk about incidences where someone in their community harmed someone in our community, and not once have they been like, well, this is what y'all did to us. No, they never do that, because they understand the hurt that we feel, and the least we can do is understand the hurt that they feel. I am pro-Asian. I am. I'm pro-Asian and I'm pro-Black. I'm pro-Asian, but I'm not pro whatever the fuck is going on right now in the Asian community. Because, like I said, too many Asian people are putting profit over people. Too many Asian people are not seeing the hurt that Black people feel right now. Because they also don't view Cyrus as a human being. They did not view Cyrus as a child. Instead, there are people in our community putting Cyrus on trial when he's the one who was murdered. He chose to only show incidences.
Which is what I've been saying. They'll cherry pick the incidents where Black people do stuff to Asians. They'll forget all the shit that Asians do to Black people. Forget that Asians are just as violent to Black people. Forget that Asians too rob Black people. Forget that Asians discriminate against Black people. And forget that white people treat them like absolute doo-doo. But if I say it, it's a problem. Y'all should see my DMs. Like, I kid you not, you should see my Facebook, man. All the rice ninjas, rice warriors from Facebook are in my DM. There's this one. Oh man, a fat fuck. I don't know. He looks like a character from Dragon Ball Z, one of those chubby things. He just keeps spamming comments. Remember my post that I showed yesterday? The guy that spent a whole day sending me messages every few hours. That one, I'm still marinating in his mind. Well, maybe if your woman says it, it'll make sense. You're a... Oh, God. China Mike, you see, it's your girl saying it, not me.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, I'm your host and presenter Agent Stories. It is always beautiful. It was always a beautiful time to come and talk about the things that really matters, things that build generally conversations that build instead of conversations that destroyed. And I think this what happened in the past 1 week in regards to Asian businesses and the Black community trying to boycott the Black businesses has really triggered something, and people are getting to realize how important Black people are. Remember, there are so many rallies that Black people have tried to do, and we have seen them working so many times. And this shows you one thing: you cannot disrespect a person and just expect that things are going to be going normally or are going to be working normally. There's a price to pay in everything. So you get to see how they have tried to always criminalize Black people. The anti-Blackness that has been going on for a long time. And still, they need Black support in regards to still everything that goes on. They will still need Black people to help them. They still need Black people to support them. But at the end of the day, there is so much anti-Blackness that it's always going on with these people. But at the same time, Black people are trying to remind you that you cannot do such kind of things and get away with them. There will always be consequences, and consequences will always follow you. That's how all these things gonna happen. That's how all these things happens. So you cannot expect Black people to always be on your save by them supporting your businesses, by them standing by you, by them fighting your fight. But deep down, you talk negatively about Black people. And this is just general to any other group of people. It could be Latinos, it could be Asians, it could be any other person, including immigrants that get into the United States. You cannot disrespect a group of people that have given you a platform for you to thrive, and then you forget who are the owners of the ground. Like it's just natural. Like it never happens like that. And I don't think Black people are asking for a lot. They're not asking for a lot. They're just asking you guys to at least try respect them, or try respect what they're trying to tell you. So somebody said that, to be honest, it's not about race wars. It's about economic awareness and empowerment. Black people spend over $2 trillion in this economy per year. They have the right to funnel their money back into their own communities and support their own businesses, which is long overdue. They do not have to get approval or explanation to anyone why they choose to spend their money. And I think that makes sense. And it takes us back to just thinking of how that 2 trillion should be circulating in the black community. I mean, that will be so much important. That will be so much influential. Somebody say that black people are not and can't be racists. To be racist is not ignorant. People hate us because, first, our skin color. And then they are taught to hate us with the lies they are told about us. And they hate us because they feel that they are superior and we are inferior. We are the southern kingdom, Judah, 3 tribes, Benjamin and Levi. We are the real Jews. Jesus Christ told us that we will be hated by all people. That's Matthew 24:9 and Mark 13:13. Right. All these Asians who are commenting on these different platforms are just proving that American black community should have let go of that olive branch a long time ago. Unfortunately, genuine Asian businesses may feel some kind of way, but eventually they will have a light bulb moment and understand that racism, classism, and hate hurts. Black Americans has had enough, and this is time for them to hear their voices. I love martial arts. There are at least a few black-owned martial arts schools in many areas that I need to check out. We need to support each other whenever and whatever possible. As long as the customer service and prices are good, support your own as much as possible. There is nothing racist about supporting your own community. It's called self-preservation, nothing more. Right? What I find to be most ridiculous is that Asian people think that they have the right to tell us where to spend our money, considering that they have yet, as a community, do any real work to change this racist system. But they had no problem getting affirmative action overturned when they did zero work for the betterment of our country. There are way too many different immigrant groups that over the last year demanded that we come out and fight for them. The entitlement in thinking that they can demand we do anything for them. We are done with working for everyone else, and people are just getting to learn things the hard way. If black people want to boycott any business because of support for their own communities, that's our right to do. And if we are racist, as some keep saying, Asians or any other culture type businesses would have never survived, let alone being patronized within the black community. And for those who say, when we go start our own businesses, we are and we have been, but certain groups in their failings about our success and find ways to destroy it without repercussions and accountability. And if we're such a problem, then how come the majority of our cultures, businesses are not in the white communities? So, people are talking, and I see really, really good points. People sharing really, really good points. Really, really good points. So please let me know what you'll think about this, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Agentic Stories, but until then, let me see you on my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.